Setting up a blank operation on the retail POS register. To set up a blank operation on the retail POS register, follow the steps. After starting the retail POS, look at a blank button and select the button properties. In the button properties screen, you are able to configure actions of the button and set up the properties like text and font and color for the button. In the actions drop-down menu, select blank operation. You should find it here and enter the operation number, which is a string value that retail POS uses to identify the blank operation. I'll give a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because you can send multiple blank operations to retail POS at the same time, you must give each blank operation a unique identity so that the retail POS can distinguish which operation to execute. You can use the blank operation param field to send an optional string value. The operation number and the blank operation param values combine to form the method signature of the blank operation. In this scenario, we will set up the blank operation number as 1, 2, 3, 5 and leave the blank operation param value blank, or we can just put it as my param. You can use the fields in the appearance tab on the right side to configure the button form to customize the appearance of the button. For example, you can set the text value that displays the button when the retail POS is started. We'll change the button name to my blank operation. So now we have created a blank operation button which is displayed on the retail POS screen. Click OK and we have the new button. So as expected, it just says the operation ID and parameter received cannot be used because we have not done anything. So now we'll need to add custom logic to this blank operation to make it usable. To add the custom logic, we'll need to go to the retail POS SDK. And in the retail POS SDK retail POS plugins, we look at the services folder, and within the services folder, the services solution file. Open it with Visual Studio Selector. Just wait for Visual Studio to open. The project is being prepared. I have a Dev Express license which is asking me whether I need to upgrade. As of now, I say no. Okay. I'll open the blank operations CS folder. Find it here. In this demo, we'll cover how to add custom fields to retail POS screen layouts and receipts. As a first step, we'll open a new development workspace and go to the data dictionary, tables, and select the retail translation. Select the retail language text table. Open the table and create new text IDs. We'll create a couple of them so that we can use them in the custom fields. This is a localized caption text ID that we are going to use when we add the custom fields. Okay, so now we have the caption text IDs created. We'll close the table and close the development workspace. Go back to the retail area page. The next thing I'll do is check the screen layout assigned to the worker that I'm going to use as the operator ID. And I can do that by selecting the worker and go to the retail tab and checking the screen layout. So this is the screen layout which I'm going to modify by adding custom fields. To add the custom fields, go to the retail setup and under POS profiles, go to custom fields, and here you can add the new fields. So I'll be selecting the caption text ID which I had created earlier in the retail language text table. In the type, we are selecting the grids, and these grids correspond to the screen layout on the POS. So if the type payment grid is selected, it means this field will be available to choose in the payment grid sections of the retail POS. And custom control means any particular area. and receipt is the receipt layout for the POS. So now that I have added all the custom fields, I need to add them to the screen layout. So I close this, go to POS screen layouts and select the one which I want to use and go to designer. Here in the design mode, I can choose any of the grids. You notice that these correspond to the type which was there in the custom field form. So I'll go to totals layout and now I get all the columns to choose. As you can see, I can get custom totals here, and all I have to do is drag and drop and add them on the screen layout. To make this work, the next step really involves writing code to connect the field that we have added. But this will require the programming bit, and that is done by modifying the services solution file in the retail SDK POS plugin services directory. I'll just show that, although I'll not write any code. I'll close this since we have added the field. Close this, and in Microsoft Dynamics AX folder under Retail SDK POS plugins, open services, and under services you'll find the custom field project and the CS file called custom field. And this is the code that you'll need to modify to edit the custom field that you have added. Not make any changes here. Now, to get the screen layout onto the POS registers, you will need to ensure that the updates are sent to the POS. You can do that by running the distribution schedule. Close this form. Give some time for the job to run. Now I'll log into the POS. Let me just restart it. Waiting for the POS to open. As you can see, the field custom total is now visible here. So we have successfully added a custom field onto the POS layout. Now you can do a similar exercise with the receipt format, and to add the custom field to the receipt format, all you have to do is go to the POS setup and under receipt format, open the receipt format designer. Let's select receipt and go to designer, and if you have created the custom field correctly, you should be able to see it here. There you go. So this is the custom receipt field, which I can drag and drop into the receipt layout. It will take quite a bit of work to get it right, but you get the concept of how to add it and get it on the right section. So you're seeing both how to add the custom field on a receipt layout and custom field on a POS layout in a grid like the payment grid or the totals grid or on the product receipt grid. You could also add a custom control in a similar fashion. Blank operations extensibility. Blank operations enable you to extend Microsoft Dynamics AX for retail POS by adding custom logic to retail POS register buttons. In the retail POS register design layout, you can add any number of blank operations buttons and specify the operation information for each button. Typical steps in customizing for blank operations involve opening the blank operations project in Visual Studio, adding the blank operation on the retail POS register buttons, and adding the extension to the POS transaction. Demo blank operations extensibility. Adding custom fields on POS layouts. In Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012 for retail, there is the ability to create custom fields for use on the POS layouts or on receipt formats printed from the POS. The typical steps involved in adding the custom fields are: first, create the custom fields in Microsoft Dynamics AX Retail HQ under the POS setup area under Profiles Custom Fields. After creating the custom fields, add the custom fields to the layout using the Screen Layout Designer or the Receipt Format Designer. Once done, the screen layout can be assigned to the worker or the store. This is done from Retail Common Workers form or Retail Common Retail Channels Retail Stores form. If the screen layout is added to the worker, that takes precedence over the one which is added to the store. Once this is done, for your extension, you need to connect the custom fields in code by modifying the custom field service using the services.solution file in Visual Studio. Custom controls on POS registers. You can enhance or change information displayed on Microsoft Dynamics AX for retail POS register by adding custom controls. You implement custom controls using Microsoft Dynamics AX for retail POS plugins. To create custom controls in Microsoft Dynamics AX for retail headquarters, you need to follow the steps below. Create a localized caption text ID in the retail headquarters database. Define custom control in retail headquarters custom fields form. Add the custom control to the retail headquarters screen layouts form. Implement the custom control in a plugin assembly. Demo: adding custom fields on POS layouts. In this section, we describe how to change the look of Microsoft Dynamics AX for retail point of sale registers by creating new retail POS skins or modifying existing retail POS skins. To create or modify existing retail POS skins, you must obtain a license of DevExpress. Retail POS uses WinForms that are available with DevExpress. Although you can develop your own forms without using DevExpress, we recommend that you use these forms for consistency. To create a new retail POS skin or modify an existing retail POS skin, you can use the skin editor tool which comes with DevExpress. A custom skin can be created and properties like color and text can be set for this custom skin. Once you modify the skin properties, you can generate a skin assembly and put the skin assembly in the retail POS runtime folder. For the retail POS registers to pick up the new skin and display them, you must select the new skin first in the POS profile visual profile setup in Microsoft Dynamics AX Retail Headquarters and then run the retail scheduler to update the POS registers. We will now go through a demo of how to create or modify retail POS skins. Real-time services extensibility. With real-time service, the retail POS can interact with Microsoft Dynamics AX retail functionality in real time. You can extend the Commerce Data Exchange real-time service by adding extension methods to the Retail Transaction Service X class. The Retail Transaction Service X class is used as a service class between Microsoft Dynamics AX and the point of sale. To extend the real-time service, the methods that you use in the Retail Transaction Service X class must meet the following criteria. They must be a public static method. The return value must be a container length 2 or more. The first two elements must be Boolean value that indicates whether the method call is successful and a string value that you can use for a comment or error message. The other items in the container can be of any type. This includes nested containers. The method parameters must be one of the following Microsoft Dynamics AX primitive: Boolean, date, int64, string, GUID, and real. To add a method to the Retail Transaction Service X class, you can navigate to the class from the application object tree. Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012 includes a collection of core services that can be customized or replaced by using the Retail POS plugins. You can also create new services that can be started from existing services or triggers. Services include one or more operations and implement a single unique interface. You can change an operation in an existing service and continue to use the remaining functionality. Before the modification of services, make sure to take the backup of the existing assembly so that the original assemblies will then remain available in case you want to revert to them. Trigger extensibility. Triggers are used to capture events that start before or after Microsoft Dynamics AX for retail POS operations. You can insert custom logic before the operation runs or after it is completed. The Retail POS operation triggers interface introduces new generic triggers called the pre-process operation and post-process operation, which run at the beginning and end of each op retail POS operation. User interface extensibility. Microsoft Dynamics AX for Retail POS introduces a new way to customize forms by using the interaction service. Multiple developers can use this service to customize one or more forms in one service. If there are multiple customizations, the interaction service installs only the first customization it finds for a form. Forms that use this pattern are included in the interaction default services located in Retail SDK in the Retail POS plugins folder in Services Interactions Default WinForms Touch. You can also customize forms that are not a part of the interaction services. However, you will need a DevExpress license to do so. Now we'll go through a demo of user interface extensibility.
Retail POS provides abilities to connect to channel DB directly. This enables you to extend store DB and store custom information to the database. But this requires you to run custom SQL script, which is not part of the initial installation and becomes a tedious job when you have to create a new store. But this can be automated using SQL Upgrade project. Go to the folder containing Retail Software Development Kit SDK. Before modification, make a backup of the existing assembly so that the original assemblies will remain available if you have to revert them later. Browse to the folder where you have installed the Retail POS SDK. By default, it will be located in c:/users/username/documents/retail SDK/POS plugins. Open the services/create database folder and double click the create database project file and then add the following library references from the retail POS folder: data access, entity framework, POS resources, system settings, transaction, Microsoft.dynamics.retail.pos.contracts, Microsoft.dynamics.retail.pos.data entity, Microsoft.dynamics.retail.pos.data manager. Right-click the upgrade folder in the project and then click Add New Item in the dialog box. Select text file and name it upgrade 6.2.0.1.SQL and then click OK. This will create a blank text file in the upgrade folder. Add your schema modifications and SQL scripts to upgrade 6.2.0.1.SQL. Double-click the process upgrade XML file in the upgrades folder and then add the following section in the XML file after the last process upgrade end section. Compile the project and put the assembly in c:/program files x86 slash Microsoft Dynamics AX slash 60 slash retail database utility slash services. Start the retail database utility and enter the store server and offline server name. Also, enter the database detail together with the store, terminal, and the data area ID and then click continue. In the dialog box, you can view the customer script that is being executed and the extension sample custom table that is being created in both the store and the offline database. Development and customization of Retail POS. Module overview. Retail POS can be customized majorly in three ways: triggers, services, and blank operations. Other than this, you can do the following as well: UI customization for POS forms, customization of custom fields from HQ, extend real-time service call, extend payment connector, extend POS database tools. Let's look at Retail POS architecture. Retail POS is wrapped around three core components. Channel databases. Channel database consists of all the business master data and the transactional information. Retail POS still uses the direct DB access as opposed to modern POS. It does not use Retail Server Web Service. Also notably, the tables used by CRT can be identified through the schema crt.star and Retail POS only tables are identified by ax.star. CDX. CDX has been modified to use SQL change tracking, making it much more real-time. Because of this change, there are no more action-based jobs and reducing the job push time. Peripherals. OPOS works as a common interface between various diverged POS peripherals. R3 comes with hardware station framework, which is used by modern POS to access peripherals. It also can be used by retail POS. It supports plugin architecture and services and triggers use this plugin architecture. Services are the way to extend custom operations in POS. Triggers are the way to add further validations and the conditions come inside the standard code. The major change in R3 is to extension folder outside services and triggers folder. All the peripherals use Windows Device Manager architecture to connect with POS, example, printers, scanners. Also, architecture provides you with tax plugin which you can extend to create your own tax calculation mechanism. Let's see how retail POS components connected with each other. Step 1. POS connects to store DB through ADO.NET. Step 2. If the connection fails, POS connects to offline DB through ADO.NET. Step 3. After performing transactions, the sync between offline DB to store DB happens through offline sync process. Step 4. Offline sync process uses Microsoft Sync framework for this purpose. Summary. In Retail POS module, we saw how to extend POS UI, how to extend functionality using services and triggers, how to add custom fields, how to extend real-time service calls, how to upgrade POS database using upgrade project.